Okay. Well, welcome to another episode of You Must Be Joking.
Right?
Yeah. Anyway, we got to thinking before and everything that we didn't really have a lot of ideas as far as something to talk about. We were kind of unfocused.
Yeah, I never think anyway. So
Yeah.
thinking just slows me down. So
Yeah, and I put off a bad odor. So
Right.
Anyway, we decided we're going to discuss some old commercials because these are like back when I was a kid.
yeah,
You know.
and I was not yet born because he was old.
Yeah, well, he was conceived, but he was hard to. It was hard to get him out of there.
I was not conceived. I was decorated.
Anyway, but we found on YouTube a couple of things of old commercials, most of which are no longer politically correct, which I think is funny anyway. Okay, but some of it I do agree with, you know. Like I was just showing him one.
I know they're all garbage. So
Yeah, anyway. So we are going to go ahead and we'll start with one, and then we'll work our way to the next. So here we go.
favorite movies.
This flat tire needs a man, but when there's no man around,
Could you imagine that being on TV now?
Oh yeah, I can. The uproar, cancel culture.
Yeah, they would be having conniptions.
Oh man.
when there's no man around, Goodyear should be. Why? Watch this. New Goodyear Double Eagle carries its own spare inside. Lifeguard safety spare. A tire in a tire. Keeps on going. Next time, give her a second chance.
I got such a kick out of that, you know, and then I got to thinking about the way things are now, and they are so right, because now the women don't want a man to come and fix their tire for them because the guy don't know how.
Right?
You know,
Yeah.
most guys could not fix a flat. You know, AAA, you know, or somebody, you know.
That's what they depend on, though.
Yeah. Hey, Dad, come and fix my tire because I don't know how. I'm too busy getting a pedicure.
Yeah.
You know, I'm getting my hair highlighted and I got a flat tire. I can't go.
Okay, son, I'll be there in a minute.
Yeah. Okay, now were you my son or my daughter? I don't remember which. Yeah. No, I would say no offense, but I don't care.
Yeah, I'm here to offend.
Yeah. Anyhow, so I thought this one here was kind of cute.
The Kool-Aid kids in old Japan rode rickshaws everywhere. But when the kids sat down
Oh,
to
hell.
eat, they sure did miss their favorite treat. Kool-Aid, Kool-Aid, tastes great. Wish we had some, can't wait. A story man who heard the kids then clapped his hands and said,
Hi, Kool-Aid keeps me very wise. Stand by, please, for big surprise. Kool-Aid, Kool-Aid, so great. Once you try it, no can wait. Honorable Kool-Aid, most refreshing, much loved by whole family. Mama, Japanese boy, Japanese girl, a package make 2 for a quart. Cost only 20 yen, just 5 cents. With lots of ice, so nice.
the Kool-Aid
how
kids
long
are
they
off
are.
again to visit other lands. Be sure to join them when they do.
Join them in some Kool-Aid too. Kool-Aid, Kool-Aid, so great. Once you tried it, no can wait.
That was racist.
Yeah, you know, but it reminded me also of that old Chevrolet commercial, you know, that came out in the 70s too. You know, I can't even remember which, but it was one of the upper. No, it wasn't a Chevrolet commercial. It was Suzuki, I think it was.
Come on now.
It was either Suzuki or Mitsubishi or something like that. It was one of the Japanese cars, but with a little bit more difficult name. And it was a, excuse me, it was a Japanese guy that was, you know, in a suit and everything, you know, and he was trying to talk about this car. And he says, you know...
Oh, because he can't say Chevrolet?
Yeah, he says he has a hard time. Don't worry if you can't say it because I can't say Chevrolet. Yeah, yeah,
I remember that.
yeah. I wish I could remember the whole thing though. But anyway,
I'm surprised it's not in this group of commercials.
yeah, same here. This next one and everything though, I think you're gonna find it kind of interesting as well. You'll
Is it a
remember.
commercial for Song of the South?
Tonight, right after Animal House, Eric Estrada and Howard Hessman meet the Dream Girls
Hi.
of Every Man's Fantasy.
What is 90 did?
Morgan Fairchild, Linda Carter, Kathy Lee Crosby, Victoria Principal, and much, much more. They're the sexiest super ladies on the scene. They're the women who rent a 10 later tonight.
I don't remember that one.
But he's not wrong.
Yeah, I mean, there for a while, Morgan Fairchild was, everybody's dream, and she had a sister, too, that was out there.
Yeah.
But, yeah, but they used to do that a lot, I mean, the women were supposed to look really good,
But they still are.
Yeah, well,
If we don't tell women that they're not beautiful, then the makeup industry goes to hell. So we got to keep the makeup industry running by telling women, hey, you need eyeliner, you need lipstick, you're not pretty enough, your hair isn't good enough, your body is ugly, I need you to work out every day for 10 hours, okay? And then I need you to get in the kitchen and cook, I need you to keep the laundry done, and have a baby while you're at it.
Oh, that's coming later. Yeah, but
Yeah,
no,
it's coming right now.
No, back then and everything, the women actually wanted to be attractive, and the clothes were made so much nicer. They actually fit them the way they should. Nowadays,
You have tailor fit clothes.
Nowadays-
the only reason people like that have clothes that are nice like that is because it is tailored. You can buy stuff off the rack, and you can have stuff tailored.
when I was in school, okay, the girls would go out and they would buy pants. They didn't have them tailor-made, but the way the pants were made. Okay, you remember now here recently when the hip huggers came back out? Mm-hmm. Okay, well in the 70s, hip huggers were popular,
yeah.
right? But they made a woman's behind look like an upside down heart. I mean, they shaped the butt to make
you
it
buy
really
the
look
right
good.
pants, it's going to do that.
Nowadays, you go and get them off the rack and everything, and they just kind of squeeze everything into a ball. You
Now
can't
gotta-
really see a shape.
You're going to the wrong rack.
No.
Yeah.
I haven't seen a decent pair of or
I haven't seen a decent ass in a pair of jeans in decades.
Well,
There
that's
you
'cause
go.
You're not looking, sir.
no, trust me, I got good eyesight. I'm farsighted, so when my wife can't see it, I can.
Yeah.
Anyway,
No, shopping at Nordstrom doesn't get you the same pants as shopping at Macy's, and doesn't get you the same pants as shopping at JCPenney's, which is now closed. So, they're
don't you mean Sears?
There are-
Penny's is still open.
I don't know. I've seen girls buy pants that are loose on purpose, and girls buy pants that are tight and make them look good because they want to get money from somebody.
No, I mean the way that they actually made the
Yeah,
pants
the
back
way
then.
they're
Well, even
sewn,
guys' pants.
the way they're cut and sewn. Yeah, I understand what you're
Yeah.
saying.
Even guys' pants now are different. They don't fit anywhere near like they used to because they used to be supposed to shape the body to show everything to advantage. Where nowadays
you're not
it doesn't.
shopping at the right store. You're just not looking in the right place.
Oh yeah.
Just because you're over there.
Look what you're wearing.
I bought these loose on purpose because these are my winter pants because I wear thermals and sometimes sweats underneath them, and I need to still be able to move around because when I was working and lifting windows, if I wore tight-fitting pants because I was trying to show off for the girl in the office, I wouldn't be able to bend over without ripping my jeans.
Well, see, when I was working in a lumber mill and everything, I wore the tighter jeans, but that was because there was too many things to get caught on. And so if you wore something baggy, they would catch and get caught on stuff, and you'd rip them anyway.
Can't wear bell-bottoms if you're running a chainsaw.
There you go. So,
See, it's all about where you bought them. It's not about how they're made or who makes them. It's about where you bought them. Well, no, it is who makes them.
yeah,
Because, Levi's is way different than Jordache, which is different than
Wrangler. Yeah, see, I like Wrangler better than Levi anymore.
I like Jordache.
Well,
Hey,
of course
baby.
you like Jordan.
Hey, baby, Jordache is shine, and I like it.
Yeah, I knew that was coming.
Cancel culture.
Anyway, this next one I had never seen before, but I remember commercials like it. Okay. So let's see what you think about this one.
This is the story of a little bull who wanted to sing, but sing in a special way. His ambition was to sing in the Bull of the Woods Quartet.
Rich and mild.
No, you must sing deeper.
Rich and mild.
You see, Bull of the Woods chewing tobacco is rich. It's mild, too, and your voice must express that mildness.
Rich and mild.
Deeper.
Rich and mild. Fuller.
And so the little bull worked and sang and kept singing. His voice got richer and fuller and sweet as Bull of the Woods chewing tobacco, until that great day when he got his wish.
Bull of the woods, chewing tobacco. Bull of the woods, chewing tobacco. Bull of the woods.
It's the fact, sir.
Lovely filler can't be beat. Rich and mild, chewing tobacco. Man, it's good chewing tobacco. Bull of the woods, chewing tobacco. Smooth and tasty chewing treat.
Juicy.
Here's the ball.
Yeah, nowadays, they can't even do that.
Nope.
I mean, when I was a kid, I remember watching Black Velvet commercials where they were actually drinking out of the bottle.
Yeah?
Yeah, they
Drinking out of the
Well,
bottle.
not drinking out of the bottle, but they'd pour it out of the bottle into the glass and then actually take a drink.
Really?
Yeah, but they did that, and then it wasn't until a little bit later that they quit doing that, and then Red Skelton did that skit about the Fuller Brush man drinking the while he was doing a commercial, and he just kept getting drunker because his take too long. Next thing you know, he's sloppy drunk, falling down. But
Yeah, because see, I'm not as old as that guy, because I only remember where they would pour it, and then
Everybody
all of
would
a sudden
stand
they'd
next to
turn
it.
around and we have it in there, but then you couldn't show it.
Yeah.
Can't show them drinking.
Yep, couldn't show it anymore. It was like cigarettes. You wasn't allowed to do a commercial and actually show them smoking for a while. And yet at the same time you could have these big-ass billboards where the cigarette would come into the cowboy's mouth, and then you'd see the puff of smoke.
Now that one I remember.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway, let's see here. Yeah, this one here was another chewing tobacco commercial. I used to smoke this one. Or I used to
With the same kind of skill that's been after you and into you.
It's hard to roll and smoke through it.
You're the kind of a man who likes to work with his
Had a
hands.
horse that just loved this stuff.
Beech nuts, the tobacco
steal.
you chew. Beech nuts, the tobacco you chew, and it's been that way, father and son, for a long time.
Johnny
Beech nuts,
Cash.
smoother, moister, more delicious. Try it. Yeah, beech nuts, the tobacco you chew.
That's Johnny Cash.
Now, here is a really good one.
This one's beautiful. I like this one.
They sure
What you
work
doing,
hard,
Betty?
don't
Some
they,
kind of woman's
buddy?
work?
Yeah. I hate to see them work so hard. Yeah, me too. Let's go around back where we can't see them.
I love that.
See, he's smart.
Yeah.
Okay. How's about taking a nap? Hey, I got a better idea. Let's take a Winston break. That's it. Winston is the one filter cigarette that delivers flavor 20 times a pack. Winston's got that filter blend. Yeah, Fred. Filter blend makes the big taste difference, and only Winston has it up front where it counts. Here, ahead is a pure white filter. Winston packs rich tobaccos specially selected and specially processed for quick flavor in filter smoking. Yeah, buddy, Winston tastes good like a cigarette should. The Flintstones have been brought to you by Winston, America's best-selling,
Get those kids hooked on cigarettes now.
Hey, it worked.
like a cigarette should.
The Winstones.
Yeah, I just got such a kick out of those kind of commercials because I forgot so much. I mean, back then, my parents would be sitting with my cousins and my aunt and uncle and everything. We had this single wide trailer that we lived in, and they'd have the door open even in the wintertime just because the smoke was so thick you couldn't see down the hall of the trailer.
Oh, yeah.
It was and.
Yeah,
all
when
of us kids inside playing, and everything.
When I was doing remodels, man, you could tell people smoked in their house because the
Layers of paint.
the window.
Oh, yeah.
Just scrape tar resin off of it. It's just like, oh my goodness, these guys apparently don't clean.
A lot of people didn't. All they did was just paint over, and like on the walls and stuff,
I'm talking on the glass.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, a lot of people just don't wash windows. But, like, I was talking to my daughter the other day about, how things have changed over the years, how, everybody smoked inside, nobody went outside to smoke.
Why would you?
Yeah.
I own this house. Why should I go outside to smoke?
Yeah, that's it, And, but,
Baby.
when you were getting ready to move, and everybody'd take their pictures and you'd have these nice little outlines of the picture, and
Yep.
everything's yellow, but it's white behind it.
Yep.
That's when they started painting a lot of the walls and the telephones started coming out as
The
beige.
color of,
Yeah,
Yeah.
Let's see here. What's the next one? I forgot. Oh, yeah.
I bought the fresh stick, just as you told me. You're absolutely right. It's neat and quick, and it goes on dry.
Now, this would go over
It
great.
did make me feel cool and sweet, just as you said. I did everything you said, but my boss still hasn't asked me to lunch.
Unlike some deodorants, Fresh doesn't guarantee you'll get ahead in business. All Fresh does is keep you fresh.
When you think of it, that's quite a lot.
You rub that between your thighs, or what's going on?
Yeah. I mean, that's, oh, God, could you imagine that now?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I can't imagine that now.
I
And
did
they
actually-
would be out of business in an hour.
I actually did have a girlfriend that dated her boss, and was really pissed off when he broke off with her and everything. So he could work things out with his wife.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, jeez.
What did you expect, sweetheart?
Yeah.
He doesn't want to lose half of everything.
Yeah. Now I'm drinking coffee, so this one here is kind of close to.
Oh, okay.
Oh, no.
What's wrong?
Oh, it's your coffee again. The desk sergeant at the station makes better coffee than this.
Ed, really?
Sorry, honey. But your coffee tastes terrible.
Mr. McGregor, please help me.
Carol, what's the matter?
My coffee. Ed says he gets better coffee at the police station.
Why not try new instant Folgers?
Instant
Folgers!
Oh, I said new instant Folgers, Carol. Tastes good as fresh perch, because it's made from fresh perch coffee. Then they actually turn that fresh perch coffee into new instant Folgers.
Freeze-dried
Tastes
crystal.
good as fresh perch because it
Well,
is.
that was before freeze
Fresh
dry.
perch. Mr. McGregor, I'll try it.
Hey, the Sarge never made coffee like this.
It's new instant Folgers. Tastes good as fresh perch.
I like it better.
Try new instant Folgers. Tastes good as fresh perked because it is.
Because it is.
Your coffee sucks, lady.
Yeah, could you imagine a guy
That's
saying
like
that
the
to his
movie
wife?
Airplane.
Yeah.
He never has a second cup. Maybe he's just an asshole.
Well, that one there was just a play on a lot of different commercials anyway. I forgot what this one was. Oh, yeah.
Canary in the coal mine.
No, this guy here actually was a comedian, and you'll recognize him. He played in a lot of different movies. He never was what you would call like the big name, the headliner. But he's just funny looking and.
So he's like me.
Yeah, well,
Funny looking and not a headliner.
Well, his looks I think are a little funnier.
Okay.
You will
Okay,
too.
fine.
I mean, look at him. He's kind of skinny, don't you?
Good morning, dear.
Good morning, sweetie birdie.
I'm out of coffee.
You're out of coffee. Isn't that wonderful? Out of coffee?
What a time to run out. And why run out? Now there's a new giant-sized instant Maxwell House.
Giant-size.
A really big jar of coffee. New giant-sized instant Maxwell House gives you cups and cups and cups. Dozens of extra cups of the coffee with that warm bean flavor. Warm bean flavor because it's made from coffee beans still warm from roasting.
when are
That's
these
why new
commercials?
instant Maxwell
These are
House
in
is
the
the
60s,
freshest tasting coffee yet.
50s and
So to
60s.
make sure you've always got plenty of coffee for the man in your house, get the new
For the man.
giant-sized instant Maxwell House. You won't have to run out again.
Yeah, so they're really pushing the instant coffee there.
Yeah.
So it's like it's the beginning of the age of let's hurry up and get shit done so we can go places and do things.
Yeah,
Or not yell at your wife because she's a slack.
Yeah.
You slack and slag.
The part that I got a kick out of is, how now it's a big bottle. And,
Yeah.
And if you have seen anybody like I have, it doesn't matter how big of a jar they get, they're going to wait until it's almost empty before they even think about getting a new one.
Oh, yeah, unless they're hoarders or preppers, because then they've got 50.
Yeah. Yeah, so.
But, well, see, the prepper, because a hoarder has got 100, but they're all empty, except for, like, maybe 3 grains.
Well, that way there they can pour them in,
Well, if they thought about it, but 80 jars underneath all their garbage, they're not going to go look for it. They just,
I've got some over there.
Now this
all right,
one here,
war.
yeah,
war.
You remember when you were a
Let's
kid?
send all the kids to war because that's a great thing to do.
When I was a kid, man, when we were young, okay, I think even when you were young, we used to play games like Cops and Robbers. We used to play Army. We used to play Cowboys and Indians. And
Nope.
you never played, did
Bro,
you?
no. I've told you my upbringing was just a big pile of fecal matter. I never did nothing like that. But I had great-grandfather, grandfather, and father, and they are all in the military, and they beat it into me to not go in the military because the military is a garbage situation, and you should never encourage children to go to war.
Okay, well,
PSA.
I had a lot of other experiences, but we used to play, a lot of war. We used to play Cowboys and Indians. We used to play, which now you play what? Let's see here. What would you call a cowboy now?
Now you play murderer.
Oh, now
Now you play school shooter.
Yeah. Now you play cowpoke and indigenous persons.
Right.
But we'd make.
That was a good one, sir.
You just.
Hats off.
Yeah, you just.
Cowpoke and indigenous person.
Yeah, but back then it was Cowboys and Indians, and
Yeah.
and we'd get into arguments sometimes over who got to be the Indian,
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, same thing with the Cops and Robbers, who gets to be the robber.
Well, it was always your black friend was the robber.
No, no, actually, most of the time Jerry became the cop.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Hey, he's moving up in the world.
Well, that way there I got to be the sneaky one.
Put the white boy down.
Yeah.
The man.
Anyway. But yeah, this one here, man, I remember this commercial, and I loved this gun, but my dad wouldn't get it because he said it was too expensive.
Red Ryder?
No. This puts the Red Ryder to shame. That was just a BB gun, man. This is like 7 guns in one.
Oh, boy. Let's see.
Your squad is ready for you to lead them
Holy
through.
mother of pearl.
Oh, yeah, look at that.
7 OMA, you charge.
Holy mother of pearl.
Drive for Johnny 7. Watch out, tank. Fire anti-armor shell. Fire anti-tank rocket. Johnny 7's got him on the run. Johnny 7 fires bullets like a rifle.
What is this, a Nerf gun?
Fires like a Tommy gun. Now it's a cap-firing pistol. You've won with Johnny.
Wow, they had one of these back then.
Yeah.
It's 7
Because
guns in
now
one.
Nerf has something like
One is a
that.
grenade launcher. 2 anti-armor gun. 3 anti-tank gun. 4 bullet-firing rifle. 5 Tommy gun. 6 anti-bunker gun. 7 cap-firing pistol. There's no other gun
That's
like
not
it. To
included.
be sure, look for Johnny 7 OMA, the one-man army by Topper.
Man Army. Nice.
Yeah, we had toys that were awesome, And,
Now that I agree with. When you were a kid, you had toys that were awesome. When I was a kid, we had the AFX racing track, which sucked balls till Tyco came out.
Yeah, well, when it came to something like that, we had, we had slot cars, but they were the big ones.
Yeah,
They
AFX.
didn't come up with those little mini ones yet,
Yeah, the Tyco, yeah.
Yeah.
The AFX sucked.
But we had the big ones. I mean, my cousin, when I was a kid, when I was like 4.
There's a club. I don't know if they're still functioning because COVID killed everything. But
They're in Kent?
No, and right here in Tacoma, there's a club where they race those bigger cars.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they used to up there on 6th Ave near Proctor.
You're going to have to go and check that out sometime. Yeah. But
see if they're still around.
Yeah, my cousin, he used to take me to this place there in Eugene when I was just 4 or 5, something like that. And, I mean, the track was huge. And it went all around through this building. You had overpasses and,
Now I hope they're still in business.
Yeah, this sucker was just huge.
You'll be like, I'm a kid again. Yeah. I'll take you up there, man.
But yeah, we used to do that all the time, and oh god, it was
I keep
awesome.
pointing like you got over there. Wait, do you see Kyle over there?
But yeah, but we had that, and we had the Hot Wheels tracks, that finally came out.
I got rid of all my Hot Wheels.
Well, yeah, you got tired of getting spanked with the
exactly whipped with that plastic track.
Yeah,
oh, man.
Well, by then, see, I was calloused. Okay,
it didn't matter if they're beating you across the face.
Well, yeah, I only
my parents were horrible people.
Well, my mother, she beat me with pretty much anything she could get her hands on. She actually had an umbrella stand that she kept behind her chair, and she didn't originally.
Well, see, my dad was white, so he really beat the hell out of me. And my mom, she would beat the hell out of me too because she was white.
Yeah, well, my mother was Indian. She was Choctaw. My dad, he was Heinz 57, or still is. But she would,
hurry up and come over here.
She would tell me to go and cut my own switch.
Oh yeah.
Well, after a while you learn, So I'd take my penknife and I would start to just notch it.
Oh man, they would.
And then that's when. She would hit me with her brushes, I'd get spanked with the brush, spoons, spatulas, shoes, rulers, yardsticks. But she got to where she would go like that over her own leg, and if it broke, then she reached behind the chair and she started cutting her own. Mm-hmm. And I got it even worse with that. My dad, he always used the belt. I remember being 2 years old. I can still remember this. 2 years old. And he beat me so bad, I had my legs, my butt had welts that were sticking up this far. And
bro, I remember not being allowed to go to school for a week because my father beat me with the buckle end of the belt.
He did that to me when I was 12. I was wearing a denim shirt, and he tore it completely to shreds with the. It was not his fault, though. I have to give him that. It was not his fault. He was on these pain medications. He had this back surgery and got really screwed up. And so he was seeing shit. I mean, he was seeing things crawling on the walls, and all kinds of stuff. And, so he just would go crazy, So we got him on booze and off the pills.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah, he was a much better drunk.
Let's have a depressant.
Yeah, he was a much better drunk.
Go to sleep, Dad. Addict. Go to sleep.
Yeah, much better drunk than a drug addict, Yeah, so. But, yeah, anyway.
Next commercial.
Let's see, what do we got? Oh, yeah. Here's one that right now and everything, they would never even air on HBO.
Let's see it.
Yeah, check this one out.
I'm Caroline. Try me. I'll take you on a trip you'll never forget. I'll bring you your lunch. I'll hang up your coat for you and let you watch movies. I'll take your little old mind offline. By the time I finish, you won't even know you've been on an airplane. 'Cause that's exactly what will happen. 'Cause I work in an Acme car wash as a hostess. So come on down to Acme, and while your car is being washed, let little old Caroline clean you out too.
Oh boy!
And while you're there, how about a hot wax?
That's the original happy ending, right? Hey, while my car's getting washed, why don't you polish my knob?
Yeah, I was watching that and I was like, oh my God. that you couldn't even do that on HBO right now.
No. That show got canceled right now. Aired canceled.
Yeah, I laughed so hard. let's see here.
Go lay down. Go.
Now, this next one, they didn't do the whole thing, because when I was a kid, okay, the words were different just a little bit. But they...
oh, so you remember this commercial and you're saying this is a different version?
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, but we used to have the bouncing ball.
Oh, follow the
Bouncing
song?
ball, yeah.
Okay.
Sing along with it.
Oh.
Yeah, you know, and, yeah. That was...
Because I remember a couple of those. I remember... Boop, 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 boop.
Yeah.
Let's see what it is. I like this. I'm having fun. What you do?
Yeah.
I heard you want to be a Frito Bandido like me.
Frito
Then we must sing the Bandido song.
him.
Let's sing together. You just follow the bouncing Fritos corn chips bag.
Yeah, see, we had...
Ay, 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 ay. I am the Frito Bandido. Hey, I like Fritos corn chips. I love them, I do. I want Fritos corn chips. I'll get them from you. Ay, 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 ay.
There's no stereotypes here, you know.
Frito Bandito. Give me Fritos corn chips and I'll be your friend.
Deep fried
The
taco shells
Frito
with a lot of salt.
Bandito, you must not offend. Now, boys and girls, you are Frito Bandidos too. You sing the Frito Bandido song, and you're loco for crunchy Fritos corn chips. That's nice. Munch, munch, munchy, munchy Fritos corn chips.
Mucho loco. Muy bien.
Vámonos a su casa nomás trabajo aquí.
Yeah, when I was, you know, I mean, I remember that commercial, and I do remember this version, except it was a ball. We didn't, you know, there was a ball that they were doing, and then the word was, I love Fritos, or I like Fritos corn chips. I love them. I do. Whenever I want them, I get them from you.
Okay.
But they changed it.
They must have updated it.
Yeah. So it was either this came first or that one came first.
No,
I don't
I'm
know
sure
which.
that one was the second one because the one you're talking about seems just a little bit more offensive than that one.
Yeah.
So they probably had to update it.
That could be, you know, because yeah, it was kind of like the Hamburglar, you know, where you know he's stealing it from you.
Yeah,
That's
they don't
what
do that anymore.
Yeah, that's what he was doing, you know, is he would steal.
Yeah, did you see him stuff them up under his hat? Yeah. And now I'm your friend. Mi amigo.
Oh, yeah, here you
Howdy! Grapes! The name? Goofy Grape. But why they call me Goofy, I don't know. Yes, sir. I'm one of the new funny-faced drinks from Pillsbury.
Funny faces, fancy drinks.
One of the new funny-faced drinks. Here's what you do. You pour me into a pitcher, add water, don't add sugar. I'm already sweet when you buy me. You can drink all you want. Mom won't mind. 'Cause look, Mom, I'm pre-sweetened without sugar.
This is why. Okay.
Engine orange. Oh. Rootin' cranberry. Freckle-faced strawberry.
Hi.
Chinese cherry. And loudmouth lime. Hello. Loudmouth store. Funny-faced drinks from Pillsbury.
Yeah, that is
Funny
definitely
faces, fancy drinks.
straight up.
We're sweet without sugar. So no sugar, man.
Did you see that little kid? Did you see his face?
No.
Just for an FYI, let's see here. Where is it?
Okay, go.
See if I can find him here. Okay, watch.
For us at your store. Funny-faced drinks from Pillsbury.
Funny.
That looks like a familiar actor. Is that Ron Howard?
No, but you're close. Do you remember Family Affair?
Yeah.
Buffy and Jody and Sissy.
I don't know their names, but yes, I remember Family Affair.
Yeah, that was Buffy.
Okay.
You know, also
Buffy the Vampire Slayer?
Also, he did H.R. Huff and Puff.
H.R. Huff and Stuff.
Yeah.
Puffin' Stuff.
Puffin', yeah.
H.R. Puffin' Stuff.
Yeah.
Do little, it can't be enough.
Yeah, that was him. Yeah. Anyhow.
Yeah, totally familiar face, yeah.
Yeah, so
So,
for
yeah,
those of you that weren't around back then.
Yeah,
and
so
everything,
that's the original pre-sweetened then.
Yeah.
Before Kool-Aid was like, oh, now we got to put our own sugar and figure out their mix.
Yeah, but these guys didn't last very long.
Of course not.
'Cause-
Because Kool-Aid had more money. Put Pillsbury out of business on the sweetened drink front.
Yeah.
Yeah, pre-sweetened Kool-Aid. So I wonder if Kool-Aid forced them out or bought them out.
I do not know.
Yeah.
But I loved the commercial, you know. But could you imagine now?
No.
What is it?
Hi, we have a new
cherry?
product, Chinese cherry, and we have gone out of business. Bro, I was watching a thing. Yeah, well, you're gonna have to move that over to where it'll see me because I'm leaning out.
Yeah.
There we go. I was watching a show a couple days ago, but it was about the world's most expensive fruits, and I
dated two of them,
and all of them. I've dated a fruit. He was all right. He could go deep, but
these were she's. But
whatever.
Yeah. They were still fruits.
Hey man, you can't go through life with one hand tied behind your back. But all of them were grown in Japan, except for one, which was a pineapple that was being grown in I want to say London or the UK because and it was special because that's pineapples don't grow there, but they had this awesome. What they called a manure heating system, so
so it actually put off enough heat because
because they're
composting
what do they call that? Not compost, but when the nutrients, whatever. So they're using the manure to put the nutrition in the soil, but it's also
creating heat when it's breaking down.
And you can see they were in the things in little isolation chambers basically, and it was $1,299 per pineapple. But but all the fruits that they were growing in Japan were super expensive. But it was for the most part, the watermelons were super expensive because they were making them in shapes like triangles and squares and all this stuff. And then they had this pear that was super expensive, but it was in the form of Buddha. It was a Buddha's face and stuff, because I guess once it gets to a certain size, they put it in a container and it grows into that container.
That and holds it.
But so all these fruits, I mean, they were huge. They had a 3-pound orange, a 1-pound cherry. All this stuff was just huge, and this stuff they would sell it on auction. Jesus. Because it was such a
novelty.
Novelty and micro crops, so there wasn't like huge amounts of it. But they got a bunch of cherries, and these grapes, each one was like maybe 2 or 3 kilograms, and it's just like that thing is huge, man, Jesus! And they were selling bunches of grapes for like $5,000 on auction.
Yeah, well, that's people that have too much money right there.
Well, in Japan, a lot of them are rich, and they said it's a status symbol.
Yeah,
over there, you go into a house and they've got these things laid out just so you know, hey, we're very affluent.
Yeah. See, when I was a kid, Japanese people weren't that rich. Japanese stuff was what we made fun of.
Yeah.
If it was made in Japan, you kind of laughed at it.
Except for the Toyota, because the Toyotas ran forever.
Yeah, well, Toyota hadn't been invented yet.
When I was a kid.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I remember when Volkswagen came out in the U.S., and they had the Bug, and the big selling point on it was you didn't need a road. It was always out in some cattle field, and it floated.
Yeah, the thing. Oh, man, I still want a Volkswagen thing. Still, to this day. Those things are awesome.
Yeah, they looked really cool.
Dude, they do.
Yeah.
That's a safari wagon. The Volkswagen thing is an awesome vehicle. Go buy one and restore it. Do it.
The thing that it always reminded me of is, if you remember...
Nazi Germany?
No, the Fantastic Four.
Okay. The original? Like way back?
Yeah, the cartoons.
Yeah.
They're an immensus. What's his name? Dr. Doom.
Uh-huh.
Okay. He always had those bolts, the rivets on his mask and stuff, and that's what the thing reminded me of.
Oh, really?
It had those rivets, too, So I always thought that should have been his car,
My Ford vehicle was a literal Mexican-made bus, Volkswagen bus. And I really wish I still had that. But I sold it to a buddy of mine, and he took a Sawzall and cut it off and turned it into a Vanagon. I was like, why didn't you just buy one?
When I was living in Roseburg, Oregon, there was a guy that was taking Volkswagen Bugs and making them into motorhomes. and he called them bugaloos.
Nice.
Yeah.
Bugaloo.
Or bugaroos.
Oh, okay.
Bugaroos. Yeah. But yeah, to me, I mean, I had a Volkswagen bus at the time, and it had a little six-banger, and it had no power whatsoever.
Nope.
I had trucks passing me on Saxon Mountain Hill, going up, and he's got a motorhome made out of a bug.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, right.
There was a guy in Renton, Washington, and he bought a Camaro and a Corvette. And he cut both of them in half, and he built a Camvet. He put the Camaro front end on a Corvette back end and had a Camvet. And I was like, man, that was a waste of money. Can I have the other car? I'll take the Vomero.
Anyway, yeah. So let's get back on track here. Here's another good one. You'll find this.
Another racist
So I have an exciting story to tell about the beautiful new Ford Mustang car. And inside the car, boy and mother and shopping bag. And inside bag, box of post-rice crinkles. And inside box of post-rice crinkles.
Wow, Mom, boy, oh boy. There's a Mustang car inside the Rice Crinkles.
Oh, no, dear. The Rice Crinkles are inside our Mustang.
But there is a Mustang inside the Rice Crinkles.
I had that exact car. 64.5 Mustang. No rear view or no reverse
a
lights.
Mustang, just like ours.
And so, sugary rice crinkles.
Sure it was that one?
Ending the story.
Yeah, it was probably that one.
You do too. Inside post rice crinkles. Collect them all.
I was going to say, I couldn't make out the license plate, but
and
okay.
fastback. Race with your friends. You go vroom vroom when you get Mustang car free inside post rice crinkles.
Man, I used to buy my cereal due to the toy that was inside. Now you can't do that anymore.
Well, yeah. That's what kills me. When I was a kid, Cracker Jacks had awesome toys in it. You got some good quality stuff.
And they advertised it.
Yeah,
got a
decoder
secret toy
rings.
surprise inside.
Yeah. You got decoder rings. You had cars. You had
the little cars.
Yeah, all kinds of really cool
now
stuff.
It's just some shitty little lick and stick tattoo.
Yeah, if even that. Most of the time, it's just some little like a Bazooka Joe bubblegum comic.
Yeah.
But and cereal boxes. You got your cereal because of what was in it.
Yep.
Except there for a while in the 70s, you got your cereal because of what was on it. We actually had 45 records that you would cut off the back of the box. Yeah,
I remember that.
Yeah, and you'd take them and you'd play them.
And they could play. That's back when America was great.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, now you got to buy 15 boxes and send it in with a pre-postage envelope. So
and $20.
Something back. Yeah, and $20. 15 tops, $20, postage paid envelope, and then you get this crap toy. Crap.
Yeah. I remember getting a box of sugar frosted flakes. Okay. The toy that was in there, I begged my mother and dad to get it, and they said, no, because you already got cereal. Oh, come on, you got to get this. So they finally got it, and inside it had a Batman periscope.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so, you put it up to your eye, and it actually, you could raise it up, and you could see the mirrors in there, but it worked really well.
Right.
You look around corners and stuff with it. Yeah, it was great. I love that thing. It got stolen by another kid, but...
Back when they had good toys.
Yeah, but that was inside the cereal
in the box.
Yeah.
It wasn't cut the box and make it. It was in the box.
Yeah. And it lasted, until it got stolen.
Right.
I don't know how long it lasted after that. But it was good stuff. Anyway, yeah, I really wish that the world would go back to the way it was.
What, a molten ball?
Not quite that far.
I kind of wish it would go back.
Not quite that far.
Okay, a snowball.
But not quite that far either.
Dinosaurs?
Now you're getting close. Because I'm one of them.
When Jesus and I started making dirt together.
Well, come on. I went to the doctors today and everything, and they asked me, when I was born. So I told them my birth date. I said that was the same year that we invented mud.
Yeah.
Most of them got actually a kick out of that, But it's really true, you know. I mean, you know, a bunch of fat cavemen just laying there drinking, you know, some, you know, fermented apple juice, you know, and next thing you know, we're pissing all over ourselves in the dirt, you know.
Right.
There's mud. Anyway.
My name is Mud.
Here you go. Now, how's that for a looker?
I can't type.
You're going to like this.
I don't take dictation. I won't sharpen pencil. I can't file. My boss calls me indispensable.
Miss Jones,
Just a minute.
will you make a copy of this?
Naturally. I push the button on the Xerox 914. I make perfect copies of whatever my boss needs by just turning a knob and pushing a button. Anything he can see, I can copy in black and white on ordinary paper.
Lightning
and am
fast.
I fast? I can make 7 copies in a minute. I never need wet chemicals. My 914 is a dry machine, powder dry. Sometimes my boss asks me which is the original, and sometimes I don't know. Here, Mr. Smith, I'm going to lunch with Mother.
I'd hire her.
Could you imagine throwing something like that on television now? I mean, this woman was ditzy as could be. The only thing she was good at was turning a knob and pushing a button. You know, but
Most of them are, canceled.
You know.
No, I'll never understand why men think they're better than women. Women are definitely the better half of this species.
Hey, you got my vote. You know, that's why I only date women. You
Yeah.
know? Yeah.
I've tried both sides, and I'm stuck with women.
Yeah.
Men are useless.
Well, I don't know about useless. I mean,
Men are useless.
No, because
Believe me, I'm one, and I know.
No, if my car breaks down and I need somebody to help me push it out, I want a guy. You know, I mean, because they'll do it for a beer. You know, I mean, a woman, you got to buy them a dinner. You know?
Yeah, that's definitely. Well, I guess it depends on what kind of beer and what kind of dinner.
I'll buy you a Jack-in-the-Box chicken sandwich. Come help me push the car.
Okay, here we go.
Man, we're getting canceled.
Yeah, good thing we don't have to worry about
A working day out here stretches from sunup to sundown. But there's always time for a Marlboro. The cigarette that gives you flavor, rich and full.
I tried to smoke once. There's no flavor.
You get a lot to like with a Marlboro.
No, when I was smoking, I started out with going between my dad's Pall Mall Straights and my mom's Salem's.
Nothing quite like sucking smoke through the assless camel.
But we had you know.
Excuse me, I meant no filter.
Yeah, I would steal my dad's Pall Malls, and you know, which were Pall Mall Straights, and my mother, she smoked Salem's.
Did Pall Malls ever have filters? I don't
Yeah,
think
yeah,
they did.
yeah.
Did they?
Yeah, they came out with filters later.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but you know.
Oh, that's right, the red pack.
Yeah. And
Not
then,
that I remember anything.
Yeah, but then you know, after once I got to where I could start mowing lawns, you know, when I got old enough to mow lawns and make my own money, then I started smoking Raleighs.
Ooh.
You know, and I actually liked those, but I didn't like them as much as the Pall Malls or the Salem's, but I did like getting the little coupons. You know, that came in there because you could send those off and get some pretty cool stuff.
Yeah.
And they also had Bel Airs, which were the menthols.
Yeah.
So sometimes I'd get those because you know they were interchangeable. And then later on and everything, I started smoking Winston's, which I actually liked pretty well.
See, I did Winston's because they were easy to smoke. But see, I was nefarious because I only needed the ash. Anyone who knows why. So I stopped smoking cigarettes when they became $2 a pack. That tells you how old I am.
Well, see, I started smoking when they were 35 cents a pack.
Yeah, see, I started when they were $1. I stopped when they were $2. I said, if this gets up to $2, I'm quitting. And they did, and I did.
Yeah, I said when they got up to $1, I was going to quit, and they didn't. And then when I was going to quit when they got up to $2, and then $3, and $5, and just kept going. And I finally quit 4 years ago.
Yeah?
This month, in fact, 4 years.
Congratulations, sir.
Because I got tired of my wife nagging. It wasn't that I didn't like the smoke, I smoked menthols, but I would go outside here and I would have a cigarette when I'm watching a movie, and everything. She's sitting there. Yeah.
Like you smoked when you moved in?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. And, but, in fact, I think I still got the ashtray out there, don't I? Yeah.
I don't know.
Anyway, but I would come in and everything, and every time I'd come, and now
I have blinders on, so I don't notice anything.
Now you got to understand, she and I had been married for like 6 years, well, over 6 years. Let's see.
By that point.
Yeah. So no, it was 10 years.
Okay.
Yeah. So
he's like,
yeah. So and I come in and everything, and she starts going. Every time I'd come in after having a cigarette, she'd go, and she'd plug her nose. What the hell? We've been married all this time.
Don't be kissing me.
Yeah, we've been married all this time. Why in the heck is it now all of a sudden, oh, it stinks. Next thing you know, my daughters are doing the same dang thing. It's like, well, you don't like it? Go upstairs. Of course, my wife, she hated the idea because she only had a 40-inch screen upstairs, where I got an 80-inch screen down here. And then, you can't really hear that one, where here, it's nice and loud, because it's through my speakers here.
Right.
And so, yeah, but anyway, yeah, but I used to smoke the Marlboros too.
I did Marlboros. I did Camel, Pall Mall, Marlboro, Salem's, and Newports. And like I said, the menthols, because they were easy to smoke, because I needed the ash. And if you know why.
Well, yeah, I smoked all kinds of cigarettes, but there for a good long while, especially when I was hitchhiking around. Okay. I always carried top tobacco. I did do
see, when I hitchhiked,
Sir Anthony, or not Sir Anthony Jeans.
When I hitchhiked from Portland to Austin, I had a carton of cigarettes with me, and that got me everywhere. And then when I moved from Seattle down to San Diego, this is how different it was. I had 3 ounces of weed, and that got me everywhere.
Yeah, I had top tobacco, but I also had
Yeah, when I was in jail,
I'm trying to remember what the name of the Prince. Oh, Prince Edwards.
Prince Edwards.
Yeah, in a can.
When I was in jail, the top was the good stuff.
Yeah, well, I preferred the top tobacco. You take a little slice of apple and throw it in there, and everything, and it kept it moist.
Keep it nice and
yeah,
fresh and tasty.
Yeah, but I smoked those forever. I'd be up there in the mountains, or when I was hitchhiking around, and you'd finish your cigarette, and instead of throwing them down, you knock the cherry out,
and take the rest of the tobacco,
put it back in there.
Put it back in,
yeah.
Not that we're ever like recycling and saving.
Oh hell, I was so broke most of the time. Shit, for what, 3 years, 4 years, something like that. Every couple of months, I would go and peel a log. I could do 3 logs in a day.
Okay.
And I got paid $8 per log, and that gave me my money for tobacco and for
essentials. We'll call it essentials.
Yeah, flour, sugar, something like that. That I
coffee.
So. But that was enough to keep me going for a month or two.
Yeah, but see, that's the beauty of what you did. It's like, I only need this much, and I can do this much with this much, and that's where I wish we were planet-wide, but we're not. We're so wasteful.
Well, that, and we're spoiled.
Yes, we are, absolutely.
Yeah.
I am a spoiled piece of shit. You know why? Because I got this jacket, got these shoes, and there's a lot of people. The person that made these shoes probably can't afford them or have them. So we are spoiled.
Yeah. See, when I was hitchhiking around, I didn't have a sleeping bag.
No. That's why I went south.
I had a blanket that my grandmother had made.
Yeah.
It had a wool blanket inside it.
Yeah,
It was a
bedroll
quilt,
blanket.
actually.
Yeah, bedroll blanket. Yeah.
Yeah, and on the outside it was patchwork denim.
Okay.
Okay. So and then on the
Your
back.
grandma made that? Nice.
Yeah. And then on the back side and everything, you know, it was like 2 sheets that she'd used for the backing on it, and so I just rolled that up.
Wool's itchy.
Yeah, but I would roll that up, and that's and had it on a rope.
Yeah, on a sling thing. Yeah.
And that's what got me. I would sleep in.
I had a beautiful handmade leather bag. I had a bedroll on a sling. And when I got down to San Diego, the last time I went down to San Diego, I sold that handmade leather bag for $1,000. That's how. But it was, I mean, it was as big as that heater. It was a great big bag. It was awesome, and it was. I mean, the hide was nearly half an inch thick.
Yeah.
And the guy was like, "That is amazing. Where'd you get that?" And I said, "I had a friend make it for me." He's like, "Can they make me one?" I said, "No." He said, "I will give you $1,000 for it right now." And I said, "It's yours."
That would work. Yeah, but and then somehow or another, my little sister ended up getting my blanket when I was off working, and next thing I know, she had it.
Yeah.
They took it. My parents took it from me.
Of course.
Yeah. And so I ended up getting this wool navy blanket that I ended up cutting. I squared it off, and I cut a slice in it. And I always wore this flat brimmed hat.
So you made a serape.
Oh yeah. Well, I called it a poncho.
Yeah, whatever.
So anyway.
Serape, poncho, whatever.
But I'd take my hat off. And I'd go ahead and I'd lift the blanket up, put my hat back on, and set it down on top of me, and it made a nice little tent.
Yeah.
I could sit there cross-legged.
Underneath the whole thing. Yeah.
Yeah. And I would
pull the corners in, and you're
enclosed. And I would sit there and with my sterno, and I could cook heat up water for instant coffee.
Right.
And that would warm me up.
Folgers instant coffee.
But that would warm me up at the same time,
Yeah.
and then I could go ahead and start hitchhiking again, But it was wool. It was an old Navy blanket.
Yeah.
And but it was really heavy wool.
Yeah. So once it got wet, it was really heavy.
But it still kept you warm.
Kept you warm.
Yeah.
But water's a good insulator, so I'll have it. Next commercial.
Okay, let's see what we got here. Finish off the Marlboro commercial.
Marlboro Country, a fresh used cigarette. Marlboro.
I like how they always have like 2 or 3 sticking out.
Marlboro Green, unless you're already smoking famous Marlboro Red. Red or green, you get a lot to like in Marlboro Country.
Yeah, that was it. That was it for those ones.
We have other commercials. Don't worry.
Yeah. Now, these other ones and everything, there's a couple that are the same pretty much, like the Fritos Bandito, I think, is on here too. But it's got some really... It's got commercials that you probably remember.
Because this is from closer to my era of childhood?
Yeah, this is 70s, 60s and 70s again.
Okay.
But a little bit later on, I don't know. I wish that they had those on here too. You remember when in the 70s when they started getting on that stop smoking kick?
Yeah,
We mind very much if you smoke. They used to have a dolphin come up and take the cigarette out of the guy's mouth. And could you imagine them trying to do that now? Cruelty to animals.
Yeah, no. Now they just use dolphins to find landmines.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
They were doing that back then. Only it wasn't landmines. It was water mines. Yeah. Back then they didn't walk.
No, they did, but then they found too many landmines. Now they're stuck in the ocean.
Yeah, they lost their legs. Alrighty.
What are you training that dolphin to do?
Find landmines.
Okay, well that one there. Okay, yeah, here we go. See, now you'd get in trouble. Okay, we won't do the Frito Bandito.
But is it the same? Is it the same language?
It's the same one.
Okay.
Yeah, but it doesn't go. It's not the full commercial.
Oh, okay.
It's kind of cut down versions throughout this one.
I remember this guy. How about a nice?
Hey, how about a nice Hawaiian punch? Sure.
You remember that? Yeah, nowadays, no, you can't do that.
Too much violence.
Yeah.
Too much violence on TV because kids will shoot schools. Because that's what makes a school shooter, is watching TV and playing video games.
Yeah, that's one thing I never could understand. Now, when I was a kid, we never... I mean, yeah, you heard about school violence, but it was usually somebody got beat, or somebody got, somebody might get knifed every once in a while, and
depending on where you lived,
yeah,
there was.
But that was about it,
I remember one time, one kid brought a gun to school, and he was stupid and was like, because when I was in school, kids brought guns to school, but left them in their car.
Yeah.
You could go out to Tom Joseph's truck, and he's got a shotgun and 2 rifles. Why? Oh, because his dad and him go hunting every damn weekend. But they're in his car, his truck, and his truck is unlocked all day in the school parking lot. Guns. Hey, how you doing? Do that today. No.
Yeah, every pickup, when I was in school, every pickup
had a gun rack.
Had a gun rack in the back window.
Every single one.
I had a 67 Impala, and I had 2 rifles leaning up against the passenger side door.
Yeah.
We never bothered locking our cars.
No.
It wasn't until late 70s somebody got into my dad's pickup and took his rifles. He had a 30-40 Craig and a 30-06. Mm-hmm. It was a 300 Savage and a 30-40 Craig.
300 Savage, I'd take a 300 Savage today.
And but they took those rifles out of there, and he had a I think it was just a 22 pistol in the glove box, and they left it.
Yeah, because I had a 22 Luger in my car all the time, and you could see the butt of it because we would always go shooting rabbits on the weekend, and I'd just have it right there, in between the seats, and it was all the time, car unlocked all day, everywhere I went, not even school, but everywhere I went. Gun sit right there.
Yeah. And yet we didn't have all the violence and stuff, and yet they sit there and they took Johnny Quest off because they said it was too violent because it showed kids shooting guns.
Yeah.
Well, so what? We all shot guns.
Yes.
I don't know.
It was a survival technique. Hey, if you're ever in a bad situation and you need to eat, you can shoot that squirrel, skin it, and eat it.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah. Anyway, so
now we're not allowed to.
You remember this one?
Oh, yeah. How many licks does it
take to get to the Tootsie Roll center of a Tootsie Pop?
Let's find out. 1, 2, 3. How many licks does it take to get to the Tootsie Roll center of a Tootsie Pop?
Remember when they used to...
The world may never know.
They used to honor the Indians shooting the star on the Tootsie Roll Tootsie Pop labels?
Yeah.
They used to honor that. See, if you get a Tootsie Roll Tootsie Pop and you open it up and you look at the label, the covering, and there was an Indian shooting the star, like the full, it had to be the full one. Couldn't be like half the Indian. It had to be the entire depiction of the Indian shooting star. You'd take that to your retailer and they would give you a free Tootsie Pop for that because they weren't losing any money. It was only a nickel back then.
Yeah.
Nickelback. Did I just say Nickelback?
Oh, must be your favorite band.
Oh, God. My favorite quote about Nickelback is, God, I wish that guy would read a book so he could write lyrics.
Okay.
Well, you put your phone upside down. You don't want me to see?
No, because I'm paying attention to you. It has nothing to do with the fact that I'm hiding naked pictures from other women. Oh, here it is. This guy isn't even an Indian.
Actually, yeah, he was.
Nope. Google that shit. That guy is not Indian at all in any way. He's not even what's that senator? The Miss Pocahontas, Trump used to call her.
I don't know.
Elizabeth Warren. Yeah, he's less Indian than her. This guy's like 1/12 billionth of Indian.
Huh. He's got a lot of the features.
He does have all the features,
yeah.
But he's got the spray tan, and he is not Indian at all. You can Google that right now.
Oh, well. Anyway, this one here, I remember when it came out. It came out right after they were in that big kick with the give a hoot, don't pollute. Mm-hmm. They had that cartoon owl.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So.
Woodsy the Owl.
Yeah, that's his name. I was trying to remember what his name was.
Some people have a deep, abiding respect for the natural beauty that was once this country. And
some people don't. People start pollution. People can stop it.
Mamma mia, that's the sun species.
The ragu or Prego?
No, it's neither. But I love this commercial. I remember it barely because it was a very short-lived commercial. Okay. But it's one of my very favorite from that time because the way they did it was hilarious. So, anyway, yeah, we already discussed the Indian one.
Yeah, he ain't Indian.
Yeah. So, but yeah, these guys, you'll see what I'm
We've got spicy meatballs, Jack. Take 28. Out, Tony, and action. Mamma mia, that's a spicy meatball. Cut. The accent. Huh. Cut. Cut.
Cut! As he's putting it in.
Micey, micey, ballsy, ballsy. Take 59. And action.
Sometimes you eat more than you should. And when it's spicy besides, Mamma mia, do you eat Alka-Seltzer?
That was one of my favorite all-time Alka-Seltzer commercials. I was trying hard not to give it away, but...
Oh, Mamma mia, that's the spicier meatball.
And that one where he got the pepper or whatever, it was... laugh. This one here was a very short-lived commercial, too. You notice he's actually smoking it.
Uh-huh. He's like, I'm out.
Anyway, well, you lean forward.
I move, and I move, and I move.
Yeah, I know.
Because this winglet is blocking my view to see the thing. And
Oh, I'm sorry.
No problem, man.
But, yeah.
This is what we do now. This is us. And what we need you to do is to sign up, and for $1 a month, you could support us. And if you sign up now, for 12 months, we'll give you $10. Or wait, no, you give us $10, we'll give you 12 months. That's what I meant. Mamma mia, that's a bigger mistake. Canceled.
Yeah. Anyway, this one here is one. Like I said, this guy is actually smoking it, but I really.
Familiar.
Yeah, he was actually a pretty well-known actor. He was a bit player,
Okay.
But anyway, this is totally
What?
accurate. Okay, watch.
Sooner or later, you're going to try a white owl. And when you do, we gotcha.
Because tobacco is super addictive.
When I was working at this company over in Kent, I had actually quit for almost a year.
Yeah.
And but I ended up getting a white owl and smoking it, and then got another one, and then and went back to smoking again. So, but yeah, that one there and everything, I remember it, and I always got a kick out of it because I was smoking like a chimney anyway. But it's like yeah, okay.
He was right.
Yep. You remember her?
Hey, Betty White passed away.
Yeah, I know, but that wasn't Betty White.
Happy New Year.
This is Angie Dickinson.
What do you say to Martini and Rossi?
Yes. Yes. Martini and Rossi. All the brothers say yes.
That commercial in the 80s, okay, this one is from the 70s, but in the 80s they came out with another commercial that reminded me so much of this.
Yeah?
Yeah. You remember Rambo and John Wayne and Mad Max, okay? They had a commercial come out in the 80s where they had the doppelgangers from all three of those running through town and everything. They had the John Wayne look-alike, which I actually picked up in my taxi. He was a real nice guy. But after they got done shooting the commercial and everything, I picked him up. But they had the Sylvester Stallone look-alike for Rambo.
Yeah.
They had the look-alike for Mad Max. and they were all in this commercial, and this big action commercial and everything, and they all meet at the bar at the end of the deal, and they're drinking Rainier beer, the Rainier commercial,
man.
and that's, they all, pick up their beer and everything, and yes.
My favorite Rainier commercials are the ones where the herds of bottles run around.
Yeah, I remember those. Anyway, let's see here. Next one.
Next commercial.
Joe Namath.
Who cares about Joe Montana?
This one here was one of my favorite parquet commercials too.
Parquet margarine. No, parquet. It says right on your lid, parquet margarine. Parquet. Smooth, delicious.
Parquet. For sure.
Margarine is disgusting.
Yeah, well, that always made me think of women, because no matter what you say, you're wrong.
Oh, yeah.
They will not agree with you.
No.
Now, see, I'm in the politically incorrect part now too. Well, I got to get into the act. As Jimmy Durante would say, everybody's got to get into the act. Yeah. Anyway, and then Charlie.
Yeah. Wait, Starkers don't want tunas with good taste. Starkers wants tunas that taste good. That's for me. Sorry, Charlie.
All these.
What's this stuff? Some cereal. It's supposed to be good for you. You can try it? I'm not going to try it. You try it. I'm not going to try it. Let's get Mikey. Yeah. He don't need it. He hates everything. He likes it. Hey, Mikey.
Heinz 57.
Even now, we still refer to, get Mikey,
Yeah.
But most of the time they do it backwards, Get Mikey, he likes everything.
Yeah, they do mess that up.
Yeah. You go, no, Mikey don't like nothing.
He hates everything.
Yeah. But yeah, I believe you're right on this one. But do you know what the theme song is?
No.
Well, it was actually a very popular song in the 70s.
Mm. I'm hungry, and I want a lot of ketchup.
Well, that happens to be
because Carly
good.
was another 10.
Yeah, I'll give you that one.
I remember McDonald's had when Big Macs came out.
Yeah.
I was living in Alaska, and McDonald's had this thing where if you could do the 2 all beef patty, stuffed sauce, lettuce, cheeseburger, and a SFC bun, and in under 10 seconds, I think it was, they would send you a coupon. And so I called in, and you say 2 all beef patty, stuffed sauce, lettuce, cheeseburger, and a SFC, and so my sister and I did that like on the hour, every hour for about 2 months. And oh my God, we ate so many fucking Big Macs. Just like, yes. And I think maybe 8 years ago I finally quit eating at McDonald's, because I would go to McDonald's and I would order 3 Big Macs and a Big Mac meal and eat all of that.
Well, here is something I'll show you.
Oh, I got fired from McDonald's in '82 because I would serve people double quarter pounders and double burgers. Now they have them.
Okay, now here's something that you might not have known.
Special sauce, lettuce, cheese, pickles, onions on the sesame seed bun. 2 all beef patty, special sauce, lettuce, cheese, onions, pickles on 2 all beef and special sauce, lettuce, cheese, pickles, onions on the sesame seed bun.
McDonald's Big Mac.
Right there. Okay. Now, can you see the hand, the size of the hand?
Oh yeah. See how tiny that burger is?
Yeah, actually,
that's how big they are now.
No, actually, they were bigger back then. I mean, the meat actually fit the bun, and the bun was about the same size as the palm of your hand. Fairly close. Okay. But now they started getting smaller, and now you have to pick up the bread and look, and hold on,
the bun's like a pickle, or the burger's like a pickle. Yeah.
The burgers are only like, you have to pick up the bun and find it.
Yeah.
Because it's about the size of a silver or a $50.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, I don't even. Do they even have $50 anymore?
I don't know, but it's, it's like when Hostess went out of business, and then 6 months later, oh, we're back, and everything was miniaturized.
Well, yeah.
Twinkies used to be like this, now they're like this.
Well, you say the same thing with candy bars. I mean, I remember getting, a Three Musketeer for a dime, and the sucker was huge.
Yeah, but now it's a 2-pack.
and now they're about this big, and they cost
and it's
$2.
$1.50,
and all the burgers were so much bigger back then.
Yep.
Anyway, so that was the Big Mac. But yeah, the Big Mac got smaller. The meat on there got smaller.
Oh yeah. Like I said, I got fired because I was doubling up patties on all of them, and now they sell those.
Yeah. I never did work at McDonald's.
I did.
I worked at 2 restaurants in my life.
Yeah.
I worked at Sizzlers.
Okay.
For 1 day. That was a 12-hour shift. And then in that 12-hour shift, I waited tables, I bussed tables, which is what I was hired to do, was bus tables. I ended up waiting tables. I ended up cooking and painting the kitchen.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've worked at a few restaurants.
And then I worked
I've worked at McDonald's.
And then I worked at Denny's for a few months.
Bro, I went to Denny's on Denny in Seattle, and Elvis was our waiter. It was fantastic.
Oh. You gotta admit that's kind of cool.
It was cool.
Okay, now this is the McDonald's commercial, the Big Mac.
Okay.
The next one.
Quarter pounder.
The great big sandwich with a great big taste.
Hold the pickle, hold the lettuce, special orders don't upset us. All we ask is that you let us serve it your way.
Yeah, I don't remember that commercial at all.
No, yeah, I could tell. It was funny though because back then, I don't know, they were actually.
Well, they were anti-McDonald's back then because they allowed you to make changes to their burgers on the ordering, where McDonald's was like, "What? No, but maybe we'll hold the pickle, maybe."
Yeah, if you did a special order at McDonald's back then and everything, you went to the end of the line.
Yeah.
Burger King, they were trying. I always thought that was so funny, because you had 3 main burger joints that were constantly in competition back then, and they were all royalty.
Oh yeah,
all pretty much. You had Burger King, Dairy Queen, and then you had Ronald McDonald, who was the court jester.
Right.
And it was always
and then Jack in the Box.
Yeah, well, he came up later.
And see, the remember Jack in the Box's big thing is, we don't make it until you order it.
Yeah.
That's why you got to wait 15 minutes.
Or more. It takes you that long to get to the drive-in window. Anyway, and remember these commercials for so long.
Lives presents Morris.
The castle's almost finished, Your Majesty.
Good. Reserve the dungeon for yourself.
He
I don't remember that one. That's funny, though.
Yeah, he always did stuff like that. It was just, and then
Mr. Whipple.
Yeah, you remember him. He was always chewing everybody out for squeezing
For doing
the
what
Charmin.
he did, yep.
Yeah.
Mr. Whipple, please don't squeeze the Charmin.
Yeah, that was one of the few where he was the one that did it first. Normally it was, after he scolded everybody for squeezing don't squeeze the Charmin. Then when nobody's looking, yeah. Remember Rosie?
Yep.
Let's hear.
You got Bounty.
Now this is, to me, is sexist. Okay. Let's hear. Sexism goes both ways, ladies.
I know a ton of women that'll tell you no.
Well, yeah, but they lie.
That's sexist.
Yeah. But, anyhow. We'll go.
Bounty, quicker picker-upper.
Squeeze the Charmin.
Oh, I'll try, Rosie.
Hey, Mr. Whipple, please don't squeeze the Charmin.
Hey, you two been married 3 months. How come that isn't housebroken yet? Oh, I've tried, Rosie.
I have a knack for spilling.
Who hasn't been acting this place? That's why I switched to Bounty paper towels. They absorb faster than any other leading brand. Bounty's the quicker pick-over.
Now, tell me that's not sexist.
Oh, it's totally sexist.
Yeah, you know, I mean,
How
we
can
gotta
you
be
have him-
housebroken.
How come he's not trained yet?
Yeah, how can we got to be housebroke?
Oh,
What
yeah.
are we, dogs?
Well, you buy the house and then you're broke, so it's housebroken.
Actually, though, in their defense, guys are dogs.
There is no defense for them. No, men are pigs, women are dogs.
No,
That's why
no,
you call them bitches and us assholes.
no. Men are dogs.
Nah.
Yeah, we like to be scratched.
Yeah.
We like to be petted.
Yeah.
If you feed us, we're happy.
Depends on what we eat.
Yeah. You know, if you treat us good and everything, and you can kick us around, we don't mind. We'll come back. You know. So, you know, but guys, that's the way we are. Now, a lot of guys think that women are like cats, and they are not. Okay? Women are like horses. Okay? And this is true. Okay? If you're gentle with them, and you talk nice to them, and soft with them, and you move slow and easy.
They'll still kick you in the face?
Well, eventually. They will bite. You know.
I've been bit by a horse.
You know, but if you treat them nice and you make sure that you know you're gentle with them and you talk soft to them,
Brush them every day.
Yeah,
put
and
a warm blanket on them before you ride them.
there you go. And they will, as long as you do all that, they will let you ride them. You know, so women are horses, men are dogs. Okay, and you remember this one?
Oh, it's not nice to fool Mother Nature.
I always wanted that bear.
New Coast deodorant soap. A crisp, exhilarating scent and handfuls of bubbly lather combine to tingle your senses. It makes you feel more than clean. It actually brings you back to life. Refreshing Coast. An eye-opening experience.
Wow, do I feel good today? I didn't eat too much today. Backstroke.
Bring yourself.
Because it's raining.
The backstroke. The way he did everything, you know, his facial expression was just great. And then when he just thinks about the backstroke, it dances back. Oh God, it was great. Love that one.
Back to life. New Coast deodorant soap. The eye-opener.
New from K-Town Records.
953 songs on a 2-record set.
Pretty much. We'll skip that one though because they always had commercials like that.
Oh, yeah.
Over and over and over again.
Yeah.
And
April Wine.
yeah, Candyman, Sammy Davis Jr. Remember that?
I'm just amazed that April Wine's on the same album as Sammy Davis Jr.
Well, you know, he that was the one song that became popular, you know, and that he did that was in the pop rock type era.
Yeah?
You know? Yeah.
Because I wonder what song April Wine did that's on the same album as Sammy Davis Jr.
Well,
now I'm going to have to Google that.
Yeah, Flash, you know, Derek and the Dominoes.
Oh, yeah?
You know.
No, that's Eric Clapton, bro.
Yeah, you know. But so
I wonder if it's cocaine.
Well, that's I think what this song was about.
The Candyman? Yes.
Yeah.
It was totally about cocaine.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
So, but that was probably why it was so popular.
And I know my own needs. And what I need from an automobile, I know I get from this new Cordova. I could ask for nothing beyond the quality of Cordova's workmanship, the tastefulness of its appearance. I request nothing beyond the thickly cushioned luxury of seats available even in soft Corinthian leather.
Granada. Mercedes. Granada. Mercedes. The new Ford Granada ESS. See how close you can come to the look of a $20,000 Mercedes at the price of a Granada.
Yeah, and now you're lucky to get a Kia for $20,000. Yeah. But this is one of the first times I ever remember a car company actually
Showing
admitting
you that all the cars are exactly the effing same.
showing you that they are trying to copy another car.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, that's all it is anymore.
Yeah. Well, everything is pretty much the same.
Because since the late 70s, because there used to be a variety of models and designs. Now it's just, hey, this is the new stamp. Everybody make one.
Well, yeah.
Ford, Chevy, Fiat, Mercedes, everyone. They all have the same.
Yeah, from a
body.
distance to me, if you look at just the pickups, okay, you got Ford, Chevy, and Dodge. The only one that looks different from the others is the
Toyota.
Dodge. You know, Ford and Chevy, they've always looked the same. The Camaro and the Trans Am, they look just like the the Camaro and the Trans Am looked almost identical. You couldn't tell the difference. Oh God, I'm trying to remember what the name of it.
Yeah, back then the only cars that remained different body styles were the GMCs.
Yeah,
and that was only the cars because their trucks were just like the Fords and the Chevys.
Yeah, they were all square body
Yep.
and the whole 9 yards. Yeah. And even now, though, the Ford and the Chevy, you can't tell them the difference.
You can't tell them.
Yeah.
Mercedes, Volkswagen, Ford, Chevy,
Volvo. If you can't, if you can't see the emblem, what's the difference?
exactly. If you're not right up on the car and looking at the ornament, and sometimes you can't even tell from the ornament because, like the Acura and the new Toyota or the Mazda, the emblem is so similar. You're like, I need to actually see it.
Yeah. But that was the first one
because
that I remember.
Consumers are idiots, and the people that make stuff for consumers know that us consumers are idiots.
Well, and to be the devil's advocate here, the reason I think that most of them are doing that is because they do that wind tunnel test, and everything's got to be aerodynamic now to get better gas mileage and this kind of crap. And so, you know, once one of them gets it to where it's a little bit better, then everybody tries to do the same thing to keep.
Well, I
wish they had style.
But see, every 3 years, they get the one car, one body style, and everyone makes it.
Yeah.
With a little tiny different, like, oh, this one's got a wing window. And they don't even make wing windows anymore.
Yeah, I know, which sucks. But then, you know, I don't smoke anymore, so I don't really need it. But the wing window, man, when I was smoking, you know, I love that thing, you know.
Fucking wing window, man. When you're driving through, like, La Jolla or some desert, wing window blow that hot air on you, and it's like, it's refreshing.
Yeah, I think the last car I had that had a wing window was my '67 Galaxy. You know,
that's a big, awesome car.
Oh yeah, that was great.
They call that a tank.
I was in Kentucky and it got hit by a tornado.
Oh man!
And it.
But see, that's what it takes to take out a Galaxy.
Now, what it did and everything was it took my wing window and spun it around. It busted the pin on the wing window, and so I had to take both hands and like that to get it to where. But it would always flap in the wind after that. It wouldn't close.
And we were driving through Arizona one time, and there was a windstorm, and we're like, we can do this. And when we got done, most of the windshield was sandblasted and scratched. You could barely see through it. It's like, holy cow.
Maybe we shouldn't have done that.
Let's not look at the paint.
Nice and shiny, but no paint. Nothing like a freshly sandblasted car. Alrighty.
Never drive faster than you can see, ladies and gentlemen.
Now, when I was a kid, we most of our toys had some kind of educational. Well, no, not necessarily electronic. This was one of the really fancy ones. You know,
the Light Bright.
Yeah, because,
I never had one.
No, I didn't either, but I had friends that did. You know,
I never had friends either.
Couldn't
afford them.
The closest thing we ever had to something like this was like Monopoly, you know, or an Etch-a-Sketch. You know, but a Light Bright, no. You know, my sister did get a spirograph.
Spirograph, I had. They were cool.
Yeah, those were really cool. But this, you know, I mean, but we always had like, you know, something that erector sets or Lincoln logs or something that, you know, you built something or, you know, you learned something from it.
Yeah, in the 70s they were trying to actually make kids
think
productive.
Yeah,
think productive.
But then when I was a kid, Tonka trucks were made out of metal.
Oh, yeah.
And you could beat them with a hammer and they didn't know it.
All they do is cut you.
Yeah. But now you got plastic ones. I don't know how good they are anymore, but I doubt they're anywhere near what they were.
That's right.
They're slugging it out in the middle of the ring. Right to the jaw. My block is not
I got a new SSP.
Hold it. I didn't have it on to where they could see it. So now...
That's right.
They're slugging it out in the middle of the ring. Right to the jaw. My block is knocked off.
I had a friend that had those, and we used to play those all the time. And then after we got done doing that, we'd go out in the backyard and box. Well, I mean, after a while, your thumbs get tired and sore and stuff. So now,
might as well just punch each other in the face.
Yeah, it was a lot more fun anyway. This was one of my favorite toys in the 70s.
Got a new SSP. So am I.
Okay, let them go. Some of the great SSP racers for 72. When you pull that D-stick, those SSP racers howl with power. Big action. Crush them. Smash them.
Crash, bang, crack 'em up, and put 'em back again. Crash, bang, smash 'em up, it's smash up time, my friend.
Those crash 'em, smash 'em, whatevers.
Yeah.
Those made me start putting together models and blowing them up on the 4th of July.
I used to put together model planes and stuff like that, and especially the balsa wood planes. You go ahead and put a black cat on there, light the fuse and throw it like that, and watch it.
Oh yeah.
Me and my brother, we would go to the reservation and get those missiles, and take out the black cats that they have in the tip and put in M80s, shoot them on up. Twice that didn't work the way we'd planned. Once it went up and then it came down. We have no idea where, and then it exploded. It took way too long to explode, so we don't know if we blew a hole in somebody's house or what. And then the other one, it went up, and then it started to come back down, and it got just above a power line pole, something like that. But when it exploded, it caused damage. It blew out a light. So it just took too long to come back down. So we quit doing that.
G.I. Joe!
Yeah, and this was the lamest thing to me that ever came out. I mean,
dolls for boys to make you want to go to war.
No, I had a G.I. Joe back in the 60s when I was a kid. They didn't have the hair and the beard.
They were this tall.
Yeah, he's good sized, and
you
but
can
he moved
kick him around and beat him up.
Oh heck yeah, But he also came with
strip him naked and look at him.
Yeah, he came with guns, and the uniform and everything, but he didn't have this kung fu. They're saying that this is the fancy stuff.
It has kung fu grip.
Yeah,
it's got the kung fu grip.
Yeah, now listen to this.
Joe has hands that grip, fingers you hold open and let close, hands that hold on with a kung fu grip.
Now tell me that's so.
Is that racist? Kung fu grip? Yeah, it's a little bit racist.
No, it's not racist. It's just it's lame.
Well, yeah.
Mine it came with gun. I mean,
that was the beginning of the end of real anything.
Yeah, it was.
Now we're just a bunch of stupid sheep.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing good about the G.I. Joe then, was
his hair and his chiseled jawline.
Well, yeah,
because Barbie preferred him over Ken.
Yeah, I mean, he would actually go over to Barbie's, and him and Ken would be drinking and everything. Next thing you know, it was weekend leave with Barbie, But yeah, and these guys here, we had one of these.
Is it pretty, Mickey? Thanks for the gumball. Penny for the gumball, Freddy. Thanks for the gumball. Penny for the gumball, bye-bye. Thanks for the gumball.
Thanks for the gumball. But no, you used to be able to stick your hand up in there and do that, and I found out so you didn't have to have a penny.
Right.
Yeah, that was pretty much my thought.
Lord of the Flies.
My baloney had the first name. It's O-S-C-A-R. My baloney had a second name. It's M-A-Y-E-R. Oh, I love to eat it every day. If you ask me why, I'll say, 'cause Oscar Mayer has a way with biology. in pain.
The thing that kills me is my favorite part. They cut. Right after that, he sings, "How's that?"
Yeah.
They cut it out. He was so cute, though.
Oh, I'd love to be an Oscar-Mayer. That is what I really like to be. 'Cause if I were an Oscar-Mayer, everyone would be in love with me.
When I was a kid and that commercial actually came out, we all walked around singing that thing and everything. You know. But commercials back then were so much more influential. Truly. They weren't all about science, you know, and trying to get in there. It was just something to actually get kids interested. So they had the catchy tunes, you know.
Well, yeah, it's
they paid attention to when they were on too. You know, I mean, it was like the soap operas. You always had the soap
it's
commercials.
programming is what it is. I mean, see how I remember all of it?
Yeah.
That was programmed.
Yeah, you know, but
the TV is a programming device.
Yeah,
put your kid in front of it, and then he too will either shoot a school or go to war.
Yeah. I do not blame television for that. I blame social media.
I don't blame television for anything except for the idiocy of Americans.
Well, yeah, there is.
Well, we're all out of orange-flavored Tang.
Golly, the grape flavor's gone too.
Listen, why don't I go to the earth and get some more?
Yeah?
I could trade them some rocks.
Rocks? For an instant breakfast drink with more vitamin C than orange juice?
Okay, now before we get to the end of this one here is like they were looking into the future. Okay, now remember I said that, but time you get to the end of this, okay?
Sure, I'll be right back.
Where's that
Well, I'm back.
You have a large and grape flavored Tang.
For a bag of rocks. Sometimes I wonder if there's intelligent life on that planet.
And there's not.
I told you, it was like they were looking into the future.
I don't remember Grape Tang.
Oh yeah, they had it. It just didn't last very long.
I absolutely do not remember Grape Tang at all.
Yeah, the orange Tang, I remember. I really liked it. I didn't care that much for the grape.
I've never had it once, and I was just like, ugh.
I thought it tasted more like an orange, you know, than
I thought it tasted
orange juice.
like dirt.
Well, my mother, see, she was one of those people that couldn't cook. Okay, she wasn't really good at it, and we got the frozen orange juice, you know, and so it was the orange juice concentrate. Put it in a pitcher, and you wait for it to thaw out, and you mix it with water, and it tasted, you know, bitter and all this kind of stuff. Where Tang actually tasted more like an orange than that stuff did. So I would drink Tang, but we didn't get it very much because it was expensive. I wanted to be a astronaut.
Hey, go on!
I can bring on the bacon, fry it up in a pan, and never let you forget you're a man.
Now, don't you wish somebody...
Is that Morgan?
No, that's not Morgan Fairchild.
But I like where you paused it, though.
Yeah.
When I go home, I gotta go. I'll be in my bunk.
Yeah.
Name the show.
There's a breakfast that's here today, I think Johnny, a different breakfast that makes your way in that Johnny, kinda young, kinda now. Johnny, kinda free, kinda wild. Johnny.
Wow, what's that aftershave you're wearing?
Yes, I remember.
Your high karate aftershave is so powerful, it drives women right out of their minds. That's why we have to put instructions on self-defense in every package.
Karate!
Yeah, and
karate!
I always got such a kick out of this stuff because, you know, like, yeah, you put that on and now all of a sudden you're a martial arts expert.
Right.
But
Everybody was kung fu fighting.
Yeah, it's like going to a Jackie Chan movie and coming out and pretending like you know martial arts.
Yeah, and then you sit there and everything, you know, and beat up on women.
You don't learn by watching, you learn by doing.
Yeah. So that's why I'm not a woman beater, because I didn't, you know, I watched it, but I never did do it.
I could never hit a woman, but if she's got a man with her, I'll beat the fuck out of him in front of her.
I always had this rule that if you never hit a woman unless they had a knife or a gun.
See, now, I agree with that, and that's why I have a scar here and a scar here, because I got stabbed by 2 different chicks.
I only got one here because she missed, but barely.
Yeah, she hit me here, and I grabbed the knife, and then the other one stabbed me in the hand. It was wild.
Yeah.
Fun days.
Yeah. Always a party.
I've been shot, too. You want to see the scar?
I've been shot, too, but no scar. I got shot in the butt.
High Karate, the brisk splash-on aftershave that smooths and soothes and cools.
Ron Mize Wethead. Ron Mize the Dry Look. Jeff Edmond Wethead. Jeff Edmond the Dry Look.
Have you tried the Dry Look? The aerosol hair
Jalete.
Yeah. Back when this came out, everybody always used like Groom and Clean or the oil, the grease, that kind of stuff. And you'd comb your hair back. Well, you remember like Dick York on Bewitched.
Yeah.
You
have that shiny, slick look.
Yeah.
He was a greaser. He wasn't a soch.
Yeah. Everybody always had that, that wet look.
Name the movie.
And then they went back to the, or they tried going to the dry look. And I am so glad. It was harder to keep your hair looking nicer, but it was sure nice not having to put that greasy stuff on there. But then I had to start washing my hair too.
You don't have to. Actually, they say that washing your hair every day with shampoo is damaging your hair more than just letting it naturally have the oils that your skin produces and leaving it for a couple days. I'm not saying don't bathe every day. Go ahead and bathe every day, but you don't have to wash your hair with abrasive shampoos every day.
Yeah, well, back then when this came out, see, I was still pretty young, and so bathing was not my favorite thing in the world. Neither was washing my hair. Unless
a hot bath.
Unless I was in a river or a creek or a swimming pool, I didn't want to take a bath. I didn't want to get wet, and so I would just go ahead and let the natural oil. That was all I had. I'd put the Groom and Clean on there as soon as I washed my hair, and then after that, a month or 2 later. It was great, but eventually you gotta grow up and start bathing.
Control from Gillette. It's turned a lot of heads.
How do you get shirts so clean, Mr. Lee?
This ain't
ancient Chinese secret.
My husband, some hotshot. Here's his ancient Chinese secret. Cowdon.
I can't believe I ate that whole thing.
You ate it, Ralph.
I can't believe I ate that whole thing.
No, Ralph, I ate it.
I can't believe I ate that whole thing.
Take 2 Alka-Seltzer.
In the valley of the jolly green giant.
Makes me feel like I'm watching that Sylvester Stallone movie.
Yeah, except I remember that I was still kind of a little guy, and that commercial was out. They did them over several different things. They did the peas, the corn, the green beans, and stuff. But it was always that same real deep voice. So when that Demolition Man came out, I really liked those songs. The mini tunes as they called them. But they do this one, and the guy couldn't get down low enough. It just disappointed me.
She couldn't get down low enough.
What can I say?
When it says Libby's, Libby's, Libby's on the label, 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 nothing's better, better, better on your table, table, table.
Hi, gang. That's a Big Pig here with that great new dance, the Newton. Hit it, Hal. Gooey, gooey, rich and chewy inside. Golden flaky, tender, cakey outside. Wrap the inside and the outside is a good darn Newton. Doing a big gooey Newton. Get the tricky mark. The big gooey Newton. One more time. The big Newton.
That was the tricky part.
Yeah. Watching that guy there, it also reminded there was a clown back when I was a kid. He was the sad clown, and but he was the Indust clown. He would do the Indust commercials, and that guy kind of reminded me of him. Except this guy was extremely up, where the other one was extremely down. But he would be sweeping the floor, or with the dust mop, and
He was learning karate. Show me sweep the floor.
No, but they would take a spotlight down on the floor, and he was in a stark room, you know, and he would start trying to dust mop it, but it kept moving on him, you know. And so then he'd take the pledge or Indust, I think it was, and spray it, you know, and then he'd catch the light, and then you'd see him walking away when the light would be on the dust mop going through, and that's what this always reminded me of.
I drink Dr. Pepper and I'm proud. I'm part of an original crowd. And if you look around these days, there seems to be a...
Yeah, he did a lot of the Up the Creek movies and stuff like that with the college things, you know. And he was kind of a funny guy, too. Well, I don't know how funny, but...
Dr. Pepper craze. I'm a pepper, he's a pepper, she's a pepper, we're a pepper, wouldn't you like to be a pepper too? I'm a pepper, he's a pepper, she's a pepper, and you do Dr. Pepper, you're a pepper too. Be a pepper, drink Dr. Pepper, be a pepper.
When this commercial was out, and you know, you started seeing billboards all over the place that wouldn't you like to be a pepper too, you know, and then that movie Short Circuit came out.
Yeah.
And I every time I see Dr. Pepper anywhere, that's what I think of, you know, as he's going along and everything, you know, and number 5 is going, wouldn't you like to be a pepper too, you know, and then you see that, here you go again with the politically incorrect, the Indian guy, you know, where, you know, he has that strong accent, you know, he goes, it's coming up on the computer when they're trying to track him down and says, you know, wouldn't you like to be a pepper too? I'm not getting that reference. You know, I always think of that.
I like my friend's shirt that says "Make 7" on the front, and on the back it says "Up yours."
The uncooler has a fresh, clean, natural fragrance. Marvelous. The smell of success is never too sweet.
The smell of success.
Yeah.
It's never too sweet.
Yeah, you remember? Do you know who that is?
I can't remember his name. But yeah, I mean,
yeah, Earl Jones.
That's not James Earl Jones.
Yeah, James Earl Jones.
Is it?
Yeah.
That's James Earl Jones?
Yeah.
That's Darth Vader?
Yep.
Saying, sniff my balls.
No, he used to dress up.
Sniff my balls.
He used to also dress up with a skeleton face. He was the bad guy in a lot of the movies.
And the James Bond, yeah.
Yeah. That was James Earl Jones.
I love to teach the world to sing. Sing with me.
When you say but, you say a lot of things nobody else can say. When you say but, you've got as far as you can go to get the very best. When you say but, you sing the word that means you like to do it all.
Sing that.
And they had a lot of musical commercials back then, didn't they?
Yeah, they did. Everything was musical because it would catch in your head. You know, even Barry Manilow, that's how he got started, was doing the music for a lot of commercials. You know, that's what he did, is he wrote jingles.
Yeah, that's what he said.
Yeah.
I saw Barry Manilow and Elton John in concert at the Aloha Bowl in Hawaii one time. It was fucking amazing.
Oh, yeah,
and Barry Manilow was way more entertaining than Elton John. And Elton John was the headliner, but Barry Manilow came out, he'd do a couple songs, and then he talked to the crowd.
Yeah.
And he talked about doing his jingles.
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, you know, I used to do jingles for like vacuum companies.
Yeah. Hoover really sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Well, he used to see
Hoover really sucks.
Yeah. Back in
didn't pay him enough.
back in the 70s, he had his own show, the Barry Manilow show, and he would do the same thing. He would come out and he would do that, but it was a variety show.
Okay.
You know, and so he would have other people come out too. But he would always come out and he'd do a song. He would talk about his, you know, deal, and it was great. We loved it. You know, I was kind of disappointed when they took him off, because I think right after they took him off, they put on Sonny and Cher.
Hmm.
You know, and then after that, they got off there. Then they put on Donnie
The
and Marie.
Osmonds, yeah.
When you say bud,
I think
it means you want the beer that's not.
you got me sidetracked again. This one here, don't you think it would be a whole lot better to take Budweiser off of there and put a great big green Bud?
When you say Bud.
Yeah, when you say Bud, you know, and then, you know, have everybody...
But that'd be a new
enjoy it.
commercial
Yeah.
for today's world. When you say Bud.
For all you do, this Bud's for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't smoke it, but what the hell?
Oh, I do.
That's number one. When you say bud, you tell the world you know what makes it all the way. When you say bud, you say you care enough to only want the king of beers. There is no other one. There's only something less. Because the king of beers is leading colorless. When you say Budweiser,
Definitely like this one.
when you say Budweiser,
You said it all.
You know, I got such a kick out of some of those, though, you know, and they brought back a lot of memories, you know. But, you know, you think about how much
money went into that advertising.
Well, not only how much money, but how many memories came out of that stuff. I mean, some people still remember the Red Ryder commercials. Yeah,
Not me. I'm not as old as you, Dad.
You know, it was a lot of fun back then. You know, growing up, you always had to. I mean, we used to run around. You know, like I had my dogs. You know, and everything. You know, and sometimes, you know, me and my friends would be playing outside with the dogs and everything. You know, and we'd start doing the cow can commercial. You know, my dog's better than your dog. You know, and you know, just you know, that kind of stuff. It was just
You're weird.
well, it was just good, clean fun. You know, and
I've never been into good or clean.
well.
I like fun though.
We had a lot of fun, you know. It was, but I really miss that kind of a world.
Yeah, I miss simpler times too.
Not necessarily simpler.
Oh, it was.
But,
It was simpler times because you were a kid and you had no worries, and the worst you had was remembering commercial lyrics.
Hardly, but no, we had freedom. No.
Now you're just lying.
No, we, as kids, had freedom.
Nope, we've never been free. We don't know what freedom is.
Maybe adults didn't back then.
We
but
don't
the
know what
kids
freedom is.
did. I mean, think about it.
I think about it all the time.
sun would come up in the morning, and first thing we'd do is Mom would have our breakfast ready, and we'd go ahead and we'd eat. And if it wasn't raining outside, we would get out, and we would stay out. And you didn't come back until you got hungry for lunch, or Mom called, you know, because it was time for lunch. So you'd come home, you'd eat lunch real quick, you'd go back out, and you were gone, you know. And you had to be home for dinner, or by the time the lights started to come on. My mother and I, we had a lot of arguments about that, because she would, you know, after dinner we'd take off again, and then she'd say, okay, be back by dark. You know, well, her idea of dark and mine were different. You know, so I'd get in a lot of trouble because you know, it was much darker than what she thought. You know, and I told her it was because she wore glasses, couldn't see as well. Got in trouble more than once, but yeah, it was a freer time. You know, nowadays kids can't do that. You know, I mean, you let your kid out 5 minutes, somebody's going to steal them.
Not anymore.
And even worse, somebody might bring them back.
That's what'll happen.
Yeah. But yeah, it was great back then. You know,
It was all right. You know, for all the beatings, I guess it was okay.
You know, well, like I said, I got my beatings too, but not as bad as yours. You know, I mean, you know, I did get breaks. You know, and yeah, my dad, he was good at coming up with different punishments too. Like a buddy of mine, we ended up setting a dump on fire. You know, which normally wouldn't have been a bad thing, but by the time the fire department got, we were playing with matches, and we ended up finding some white gas in a can, and it.
Oh yeah.
So anyway, by the time the fire department got there, it was about 10 feet from this huge wheat field that was ripe. You know, so if it would have gotten any further and everything, that had just wiped out that whole field, you know, and everything. So our fathers made us dig a fire line around the deal, and it was on a steep hill that went around it. So we had to dig this fire line around the whole burned area, you know, and then we had to start carrying water, buckets of water up and fill it up, is what they said. You couldn't fill it up. You get to the top and just, you know, and plus it was hotter than hell out, you know. So, yeah, I would have taken a beating much. I'd have been much happier with a beating.
You heard it here first, folks.
Beatings are good for children.
Yeah, they are actually, and not beatings, but spankings. Okay, a spanking is good. Okay, a beating, no.
Yeah, okay.
You know,
I don't have kids, so I don't have to worry about disciplines.
You want one?
Nope. Nope, I do not.
Only for a few more years?
Nope,
You know,
I do not.
I got a teenage daughter now.
Nope, I do not.
Yeah, me neither. But what the hell?
So you know, you have a teenage son and a teenage daughter. And the teenage daughter wants to go to prom, and you're like, hell no! I remember what happened when I went to prom. I did a whole bunch of blow, and I had a whole bunch of sex, and then I went to prom. And so, daughter, you're not going to prom. And your son comes up and says, hey, I want to go to prom. It's like, well, here's $200. Bring daddy back some blow.
Yeah, see, I didn't do that. I never went to prom because
I never went to prom.
Yeah, they wouldn't let me do what I wanted to do at prom anyway. I went ahead.
Heroin?
I got my girlfriend, and we got in the car with a couple of buddies, you know, and their girlfriends. I had a '64 Galaxy, and so I had plenty of room, you know. And then we took off, and had plenty of beer in the trunk. Took off and everything, and we had the radio going, dancing out in the woods, drinking beer, you know, and you know, it was a good night.
Mm-hmm.
Much more enjoyable than being in a crowded thing with teachers and parents, you know.
Yep.
Because they were always somebody standing next to the
We're old.